Alrighty, good morning or good afternoon. This lesson is on 1.1, points, lines, and planes. The vocabulary that we're going to be talking about today has to do with those topics. So we'll just go straight ahead into the notes. We are going to be looking at the first vocabulary word, which is a point. It is a location. It has neither shape nor size. So in the geometric world, things can exist that can exist in our actual world. So that would be a point. So a point, even if I were to draw with a graphite pencil and that graphite transfers to the paper, it has some shape and size. So unlike that actual dot that you might draw, an actual point in geometric terms cannot really exist. We draw a dot and we name it by a capital letter. There are two ways of doing this, and it's important that you know both. And as we see in geometry, there's a lot of notation. So the first thing we would do is just to draw a point, and we would name it, let's say, a capital letter B, and that would be fine. The other option would be to just draw a dot, and we would use the word point, and then we'll give it a different letter, point C. The next vocabulary word is a line. So a line is made up with points. It has no thickness or width. And then the important thing here, this is a test and quiz question. There's exactly one line through any 2 points. You need to know that. In order to draw that using our geometric terminology, we will draw a line with arrows on both ends, and we will name it by a capital letter representing 2 points on the line, or we can use a lowercase script letter. When we say script, we're talking about cursive. So we'll get rid of that little thing there, and we're going to draw our line. Again, it has arrows in both directions. That would mean that it continues on infinitely in both directions. And then we would put some points on that line. Let's see, we get point, and then we'll call that A. And then we'll get point, we'll call that B. And then there's a couple ways we can write that. The first way is going to use the letter A first, and then you draw a little line with arrows in both directions on the top. Or we could reverse the order. Order doesn't matter in this case. It would be B, comma A. The other way, they talk about using a script. Again, script is just cursive. So if we had a line like such, and let's say we had the script letter P, we would say that this is line, and then we would put in our cursive P. The third vocabulary word is a plane. A plane is not the plane that flies in the sky, but a plane is a flat surface made up of lines that extend infinitely in all directions. Again, important piece of information to know, this is a test and quiz question. There is exactly one plane through any 3 points and not on the same line. So important to know that they cannot be on the same line. To draw a plane, we either draw a rectangle or a parallelogram. We name it by a capital script letter, again cursive, or we would name it by 3 letters that are points not on the same line. So a couple of examples. We'll just do, let's see, do a rectangle or parallelogram, and let's say I like the letter Q, so I'm going to use Q, and then we would say, use the word plane, and then we would write the letter Q. The other way to do that would be to have a parallelogram again. You have 3 points not on the same line. Let's see, we have A, B, and C. And we would write, again, the word plane. And then we would use 3 letters. The order does not matter here, so you could put them in any order and that's fine. There's no notation on the top or the bottom. It's just you have to have 3 letters. So here's your two ways of representing a plane. The next vocabulary word is space. It is a boundless three-dimensional set of all points. Space can contain lines and planes. So for me, I think of like outer space because it doesn't end, it's boundless. You could think of the classroom as a space, but it would have to go on in all directions. A diagram, kind of a diagram that I would draw is if you could get like a three-dimensional box, but then what would happen is that the lines would continue infinitely in all directions. So they would come out from this direction, this line would continue out this way, this line would continue that way, and so forth. So they keep going all in all directions there.